Hey everyone, Dave Wilson here. Wanted to make a quick video to show you a cool project that I just finished up this weekend. So this is my client, NFZA, and they run a directory, or actually two different directories, of schools and practitioners. And they're an existing GHL client. They have a lot of automations already set up, and they've been using it for a year or so. The problem was their directory is an HTML page, and they have to manually, if somebody subscribes today, they have to manually put all that information into the directory, create a new card, put it in the right order, alphabetically by county and state, and it's a big job, it's a big process, and they have two separate directories like this, one of schools, one of practitioners, and it just was getting out of hand for the client. So I spoke to them, I guess, originally about 6 weeks ago. And my solution was I proposed to them, I'm a WordPress guy, so I said I would develop a WordPress website for them, keep the existing GHL site, and put the WordPress site in a subdomain, and then use a plugin like GeoDirectory, which I've used before, to manage their directories. And they said no, so that's fine. But then I understood why. They didn't want to do that because they didn't want to have to introduce a new system they'd all have to learn. They'd have two separate logins, one for GHL, one for WordPress. And I understood. So, we parted ways. In the back of my mind, I was kind of thinking there's got to be a way to do this. I know GHL has lots of building blocks that can be put together and made into new cool things that nobody thought of. So this was right around the time that AI Studio came out, and I was playing around with that a lot. I thought maybe we can use AI Studio to build a front end and create a custom object for the directory, and then find a way to hook those two together and build a directory for her on her GHL account. So I actually had long conversations with Ask AI, and I was pasting results into ChatGPT, and we were going back and forth, and we came up with a plan. So I recontacted the client, I emailed her, and I said, I think I might have a way to do this to keep everything in GHL. We arranged for a call, we spoke, and she went ahead, told me to go ahead with it and do it. So I started working on this just about 3 weeks ago, and what I did was I built the front end using AI Studio. Then I created a custom object called directories, and that has all the information for both directories are in that one object. Built in some automations to modify their existing process. I didn't want to make any changes that they would have to learn, so I just took their existing workflows and added some new workflows to it to get records into the directory, remove them when they expire, and we are done with that. So this was the original directory they had, and here's the schools. And this is the new version here, where all of their practitioners are right here. We have sorts in here and filters. We can pull just by particular state, and then of course if we want to sort them by city. So all that stuff now happens dynamically. There's no more manual intervention to get a record in, to remove a record when they expire. The most technical part of this was creating an API using Cloudflare Worker. That was the majority of the time I spent developing was doing that. That was a lot of coding, front end to talk to the object and pull out the records and do the sorts and stuff. But this is what we have now. This is a finalized school directory, a directory of both the schools and the practitioners. And I handed this off to the client over the weekend, and she's very happy with it. So that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks for watching.